Did you try to kill me?
Victor, what are you gonna do? Finish the job? What the fuck? Man, you made a mistake.
If I take his ass out, then all our problems go away. I vow to show up for those that need help. You're supposed to have my back.
You are under arrest for the murder of Quentin Dickinson.
Is everything okay?
No,
What do you want?
I don't want people to hate me.
You can't buy me out to ease your conscience.
Calling him a traitor.
Don't bite the hand that freed you.
You kept quiet, right?
The Cheese Season 7, Episode 9 left us all gasping. That final frame met standing over Reg, his hand trembling, gun pointed. Eyes filled with something between rage and heartbreak was the moment everything changed. And now, the trailer for Episode 10 just made things worse. Or better, depending on how much emotional chaos you can handle. It opens with a voiceover Jada's voice saying, "Sometimes, when the world doesn't give you justice, you take it," and that one line sets the tone for the entire episode. What we know is that Ammet was done being passive. He was tired of hiding, tired of running, and definitely tired of pretending that Reg's threats weren't real. Ever since Reg walked back into town, everything in Emmett's life has unraveled. His family, his peace, his safety, it all got put on the line. And now, with Kesha scared, his son in danger, and his own mother battling cancer again, Ammet made a choice. The wrong one. Maybe. But in his mind, it was the only one left. Episode 10 is titled The Line, and it's clear that this episode will test everyone's limits morally, emotionally, even physically. The synopsis tells us that Ammet faces consequences for a decision he can't take back. That doesn't just mean regret. It means retaliation. It means investigations. And it definitely means more blood. But the question is, did he actually pull the trigger? The trailer is playing games. 1 second, we see Reg coughing up blood. The next, Ammet is alone, covered in sweat, pacing back and forth in his apartment, hands shaking, phone buzzing. Then there's a flash of the police outside, sirens, and Dowda talking to someone behind closed doors. All signs point to Ammet, going full vigilante. But there's a twist here that the show isn't ready to reveal just yet. If you look closely at the last frame of the trailer, there's a shadow behind Reg. Someone else was there. So did Ammet do it? Or did someone else finish the job? Either way, Ammet is now part of something he can't walk away from. And this isn't just about Ammet. This episode is about the fallout. Kesha finds herself caught in a storm. In the trailer, we hear her shouting, "This isn't you, Ammet," but he doesn't say a word. He just stares ahead, jaw clenched, like a man who's already lost too much. Kesha has always been his anchor, but now she's scared. And honestly, who could blame her? The man she loves is turning into someone else, someone more dangerous. The same danger she's been trying to protect their son from. Now that danger is right there, inside their home. And what's worse, she might be next. Not because Ammet would ever hurt her, but because retaliation is coming. Reg has people, and those people won't stop until blood is paid with more blood. Meanwhile, Jada is still fighting her own battle. Her cancer is back and her strength is fading. But even in the middle of her pain, she senses something is off. In one trailer scene, we see her talking to Darnell saying, "Our boy's slipping, and this time, I don't think we can catch him." That line hit hard, because for years, Ammet has been growing, learning, becoming a man his family could be proud of. But trauma changes people, fear changes people, and Reg broke something in him. Or maybe exposed what was already there. And now, with Jada worried and Darnell trying to protect what's left of the family, there's this eerie sense that things are about to fall apart for good. No more peace. No more forgiveness. Just consequences. We also have to talk about Reggie, because while most of us assumed he was the villain, episode 10 might just flip the script. In a quiet moment in the trailer, we see Reg bleeding, barely holding on, whispering, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Now hold up. That changes everything. What if Reg didn't come back just to hurt Ammet? What if someone sent him, or what if he was trying to protect someone and the violence just got out of control? Reg has always been complicated violent, yes, but also loyal to his people. If there's more to his story, then Ammet might have just made the biggest mistake of his life. And the price? It could be everything he loves. Everything he's tried so hard to build. And while all this is happening, there's a quiet storm. Brewing in the background, Detective Tucson. She's watching, listening, and this time, she's not waiting for evidence. She's coming with questions, and she already knows who to ask. Emmett's name is on her list. And if there's even a shred of proof that he pulled that trigger, he's not just losing his freedom, he's losing his family. The line between justice and vengeance is razor thin, and Emmett just might have crossed it. Asterisk the silence after. The shot was louder than anything Emmett had ever heard. And that silence is what episode 10 will lean into, the unbearable weight of what's been done, and the terrifying unknown of what comes next. Emmett has always been trying to outrun the past, to prove that he's not his father, not some street kid who couldn't change. But life on the Chi doesn't let people escape that easily. It pulls you back in. Just when you think you've built something real, something safe, someone like Reg comes knocking. And now, if Emmett truly did what the trailer is hinting at, if he really pulled that trigger, then there's no going back. Not just legally, morally, emotionally, spiritually. That weight changes a person. And from what we see in the sneak peek, Emmett isn't sleeping. He isn't eating. He's barely talking. He's drowning. There's one shot in the trailer where he's sitting in his kitchen, lights off, and his hands are shaking like he's cold. But it's not the cold. It's the guilt, the fear, the realization that he's become the very thing he's always been afraid of. A man who solves problems with violence. And now he has to face not only what he's done, but who he's become. Meanwhile, word spreads fast on the South Side. Reg isn't just some random guy. He's got ties, he's got people, he's got a whole network that's been waiting for someone to cross the line. And if Emmett did it, if he killed Reg, then retaliation is already in motion. That's why the trailer shows those mysterious cars pulling up at night. That's why Kesha is screaming at someone to stay away from my house. That's why Gemma and Jake are suddenly missing from the teaser. Everyone's on edge. This isn't just a crime of passion anymore. It's a war that's about to explode. And Emmett's not the only target. Anyone close to him is fair game. That's what makes this episode so chilling. It's not just about one man's mistake. It's about how that mistake ripples out and destroys everything it touches. But what really raises the tension in episode 10 is the unknown. The trailer gives us flashes, fragments of chaos. Dauda talking to someone on the phone saying handle it quietly, a gun buried in the dirt, a body being dragged. But it never shows us exactly what happened. And that's the genius of it. Because we're left wondering, did Emmett really kill Reg? Or was it a setup? Maybe Reg had enemies we don't know about. Maybe Emmett was just in the wrong place, at the wrong time. But here's where things get even darker. Remember Alicia? Yeah, she's back. And she's not playing games anymore. She shows up in the trailer looking cold, determined, and dangerous. She's talking to Detective Tucson in what looks like a back alley, saying, if I help you take him down, I want full immunity. But who is she talking about? Emmett, Doda, Reg, or someone else entirely? See, Alicia's always been watching from the shadows. She knew Reg was a problem, but she also knew Emmett was soft. Now, she might see an opportunity to clean up the streets in her own way. And if that means throwing Emmett under the bus to protect herself or gain leverage, she'll do it without hesitation. That's what makes this episode so unpredictable. Everyone's got their own angle, their own secrets, their own version of justice. And in the middle of it all is Emmett just trying to keep his world from falling apart. But the truth is, it's already falling. It's just a matter of time before it crashes completely. And let's not forget about Papa. He only appears once in the trailer, but it's enough to shake things up. He's seen standing in front of the church, looking broken, holding a bloody jacket. His voice trembles as he says, forgiveness doesn't erase the consequences. That line, that's the heart of episode 10. Because no matter what Emmett did or why he did it, the consequences are coming. Whether it's the law, the streets, or his own guilt, eating him alive, he won't walk away clean. And Papa, being the only one still holding on to faith, might be the last person who can pull Emmett back from the edge. But even then, it might be too late. The Chi has never been afraid to dig deep into what happens when good people are pushed too far. And that's exactly what we're watching unfold. Emmett didn't wake up and decide to become a killer. Life backed him into a corner. Love, loss, fear. They all piled up until there was nothing left but survival. And maybe, in that moment, he thought pulling the trigger would solve everything. But in the Chi, there are no easy endings. Only hard truths. Only messy consequences. Only broken people trying to fix themselves in a broken world. And episode 10 might be the moment Emmett realizes just how broken he's become. There's something terrifying about watching a character you've rooted for start to unravel. That's exactly what's happening to Emmett. And in episode 10, it all comes to a boiling point. From the moment this season started, we knew Emmett was under pressure, but this is something else. The man we see now isn't the same guy who once juggled jobs, kids, and relationships with a smile and a hustle. That version of Emmett died the night Reg came back. And now, what's left is someone hollowed out by fear, responsibility, and the kind of choices no one should ever have to make. The most haunting thing about this episode isn't just whether he pulled the trigger, it's how numb he looks. Afterward, there's a scene in the trailer where he stands in the shower, fully clothed, water pouring down, not moving, not blinking, just existing. Like his soul is trying to wash itself clean, but the stain won't come off. That kind of image sticks with you, and it tells us everything we need to know. Mitt might still be alive, but the person he was is gone. And as if that wasn't enough, the tension around him keeps building. The streets are buzzing. Regs, people want answers, and they don't care who they hurt to get them. You can feel the dread creeping in through every frame of the trailer. Jake gets jumped outside the gym. Tiffany's windows get smashed. Even Kesha starts getting anonymous messages, threats that make her question if staying with Emmett is worth the danger. It's a chain reaction, and Emmett is the spark. And the most devastating part, he knows it. He watches the people he loves fall into this mess because of something he adored, something he might have denied, yet he can't admit it, he can't speak. That guilt, that silence, it's like a cage. And every second, it gets tighter. Then there's the legal storm. That's brewing. Detective Tucson is watching everything. And this time, she's not alone. There's a new player and internal affairs officer named Collins who shows up in the trailer. Cold as ice, telling Tucson, if you won't get it done, I will. That changes the game. Because now it's not just about street justice. Now the system is involved. And it's circling in on Emmett fast. Collins is the kind of guy who doesn't care about the whole picture. He doesn't care what Emmett's been through or how Reg threatened his family. He just wants a name, a confession, and a clean arrest. That means the pressure's on Tucson to act fast. But here's where it gets interesting. Tucson, fully convinced. In the trailer, we hear her say to Collins, there's more to this than you think. That tells us she's starting to question everything. She's been around long enough to know when something doesn't add up. Maybe she senses that Emmett's not telling the full story. Or maybe she sees that someone's pulling strings from the shadows. Either way, her hesitation could buy Emmett time, but not much. What's more, we can't ignore the doubt factor. He doesn't appear often in the teaser, but when he does, it's chilling. In one moment, he's shown in a dark room, on the phone, whispering, I warned him. That one sentence carries so much weight. Because we all remember how operates. He doesn't make threats, he makes examples. And if Emmett crossed a line, Dowda won't hesitate to remind everyone who runs the city. There's even a scene where he meets with Alicia. And though we can't hear what they say, the look in her eyes says everything. She's planning something, and it's dangerous. It always is with her. Alicia doesn't just want power, she wants control. And right now, Emmett is the wild card in her plan. If taking him down means cleaning up her image or solidifying her influence, she won't blink twice. That's what makes this entire situation feel like a ticking time bomb. So many enemies, so many secrets, so many people ready to make a move. And just when you think Emmett couldn't be more alone, there's a twist. Near the end of the trailer, someone shows up at his door. We don't see their face, we just hear the knock. And then Emmett opens the door and whispers, what are you doing here? That moment. That's the cliffhanger. Because whoever it is, whether it's a friend, a witness, or someone with the truth, could change everything. Could clear Emmett or destroy him completely. Maybe it's Papa coming to confront him. Maybe it's someone from Reg's crew looking to settle a score. Or maybe, just maybe, it's someone who saw what really happened that night. Whatever the case, this person isn't just here to talk. They're here to shake the table. And when they do, nothing in the Chi will ever be the same again. Episode 10 isn't just the end of a season. It's the breaking point of everything this show has been building toward. Loyalty, love, survival, and the cost of trying to be a good man. In a world that punishes you for it, Emmett's journey has always been about growth. But sometimes, growth isn't a straight line. Sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes it's violent. Sometimes it drags you into the darkest corners of yourself and forces you to face what's really there. And that's where we are now. Emmett is facing the darkest part of himself. And the scariest part? He might not survive it. Everything Emmett has worked for, his family, his peace, his future's on the edge of collapse. And episode 10 of The Cheese Season 7 is ready to push it all over. We've seen Emmett take hits before. We've seen him rise, fall, get back up, and try again. But this isn't just another mistake. This isn't something he can fix with an apology or a desperate prayer. If he pulled that trigger, if he took Reg's life, then this is the moment where his world splits in two. There's life before that shot and life after. The trailer is packed with quiet chaos, no dramatic shootouts, no screaming matches, just stillness, paranoia, regret. That's the kind of horror that eats you from the inside out. You can feel it in every glance Emmett gives, in the way he walks, in the silence between his words. The guilt is swallowing him whole, and worse, he's starting to believe he deserves it. That's what's truly heartbreaking. Not just that he might have killed Reg, but that part of him might not be sorry for it. Because deep down, after everything Reg did, after the threats, the violence, the manipulation, maybe Emmett thought the world would be better without him. And now that it's done, that thought won't stop replaying. But the world isn't getting any quieter. In fact, it's getting louder. People are talking, the streets are buzzing. There's a scene in the trailer where Trig confronts Emmett. It's quick, 10 seconds, top spot, it's heavy. Trig doesn't raise his voice. He just stares at him and says, "Tell me it wasn't you." And Emmett can't say a word. That pause, that silence, it's deafening. Because Trig knows what comes next. He's been in this game long enough to know that one bad move can unravel everything. And if Emmett really did it, if he really ended Reg's life, then Trig's hands are tied. He can't protect him. Not from Dauda, not from Alicia, and not from the law. The look on Trig's face says it all. You've made a mess I can't clean up. Meanwhile, Kesha is barely holding on. She's been trying to protect her family, to keep things together for the sake of their son, for the sake of Emmett's mom, for her own sanity. But in this episode, we finally see the cracks. There's a chilling moment in the trailer where she locks herself in the bathroom, sobbing, whispering, "I don't know who he is anymore." And that line, that raw, broken confession, shatters everything. Because Kesha has stood by Emmett. Through it all, she's believed in him when no one else did. She's fought for him, loved him, forgiven him. And now, even she's scared, not of what he might do, but of what he's already done, and what it means for the life they've built. She starts questioning everything. Was he lying to her the whole time? Is the man she loved still in there? Or has the darkness already consumed him? And then there's Jada. Sweet, strong, brave Jada. Her health is deteriorating, her son is falling apart, and the pain is almost too much to watch. But even through her suffering, she tries to be the voice of reason. In one heart-wrenching scene, she sits Emmett down and says, "Whatever you did, you have to own it. Not for them. For you." And that advice. That's the moment of truth. Because that's the fork in the road. Emmett can either come clean, risk everything, but reclaim some piece of his soul, or he can keep hiding, bury the truth deeper, and let it destroy him from within. And the terrifying thing, he doesn't know which way to go. Neither choice leads to peace. One leads to prison. The other leads to a life where he can't even look in the mirror. That's how deep the trauma goes. That's how permanent the damage might be. But let's step back for a second. What if Emmett didn't do it? What if someone else was there? The trailer shows Reg collapsing. Yes, but it never shows Emmett pulling the trigger. That's important. That one missing frame. That's where all the mystery lives. And fans are already spinning theories. Some think Papa might have snapped after losing so much and watching his friends spiral. Others believe Alicia had it done and framed Emmett to tighten her grip on the neighborhood. Then there's the wildcard theory. Dauda ordered the hit himself. He saw Reg as a liability, a threat to his power, and decided to clean house while letting Emmett take the fall. And the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. Dauda's fingerprints are always just out of reach, but always there. If that's true, then Emmett is just a pawn, a casualty in someone else's game. And the scariest part? He might not even realize it yet. As all of this unfolds, there's one final layer that adds a whole new level of suspense. Jima. We haven't seen much of her lately, but in the final seconds of the trailer, she calls someone. Her voice is shaking and she says, "I saw what happened that night." That changes everything. If she really witnessed what went down between Emmett and Reg, then she holds the key to the truth. But here's the twist: will she tell it? Or will someone stop her before she gets a chance? Because in the Chi, truth is dangerous. It doesn't set you free, it makes you a target. And if Gemma knows something, she's in more danger than she realizes. Episode 10 is setting up a finale where no one is safe. Not from the streets, not from each other, not from themselves. Everything is leading to this. Episode Spulu isn't just another season finale, it's a reckoning. Emmett's choices, Reg's return, Kesha's fear, Jada's illness, Alicia's games, Tusang's investigation, Dowda's silent control leads, all crashing together in one final explosion. And the scariest thing, we don't know who's going to survive it. The trailer ends with that sound, the deafening pop of a gunshot. Then black. No confirmation, no resolution. Just that lingering question. Did Ammet kill Reg? Or did someone else finish the job? And now, Ammet is stuck between two hells, one where he's the killer and one where he's the scapegoat. And in both versions, the man he used to be is already gone. What's left now is a shell of a person trying to hold on, trying to breathe, trying to understand how everything he fought for turned into a war zone. Kesha's breaking down, and you can feel it. The person she trusted with her future may have just shattered it. And even if she tries to stand by him, she knows what this kind of life does to people. She's already lived through trauma. She's already faced the worst, and now it's back. In her home, in her relationship, in the eyes of the man she once thought she could build a life with. Her strength has always been quiet, steady, but now it's running out. She looks at Ammet and doesn't see the man who made her feel safe. She sees someone unpredictable, someone drowning, someone dangerous. And whether or not he pulled the trigger, that fear, it's real. That doubt, it doesn't go away. Even love can't fix it anymore. And Jada, watching her try to stay strong when her body is failing her and her son is slipping through her fingers. It's unbearable. There's a moment in the trailer where she whispers to herself, I just want to see him make it before I don't. That line hits like a punch to the gut because she knows she can feel time running out. And all she wants is to leave this world knowing Emmett's life is stable, that he's whole, but now he's anything but. She's watching everything she built, everything she sacrificed for fall apart. And no matter how hard she tries to hold on, she can't stop the spiral. That helplessness is the worst kind of pain. And yet, she keeps showing up. She keeps loving him, even if the man he's becoming scares her. That's what makes her strength so tragic. She's holding on to the hope that something in him can still be saved. Meanwhile, Alicia is already making her next move. Cold, calculated, ruthless. The trailer shows her slipping a file across a table to someone in a suit, likely internal affairs. We don't know what's in it, but we know it's dangerous. Maybe it's evidence, maybe it's a list of names. Whatever it is, it's a weapon, and she's not afraid to use it. That's the thing about Alicia, she doesn't care about the collateral damage. She doesn't care who gets caught in the crossfire. All she cares about is winning, and Ammet. He's just another piece on the board. One she's willing to sacrifice if it gets her what she wants. That's the kind of enemy you never see coming until it's too late. And by the time Ammet realizes how deep she's cut him, the bleeding may already be fatal, and then there's the streets. Reg may be gone, but Reg's people, they're still out there, watching, waiting, looking for someone to blame. And Ammet, whether guilty or not, has already been marked. There's a scene in the final seconds of the trailer, a motorbike pulling up outside Smokey's BBQ, a figure in a hoodie, a flash of steel in their hand. Then the screen cuts to black. That's the world Emmett's living in now. One where death could be around the corner. One where vengeance replaces justice. One where love can't protect you and silence won't save you. He's trapped. And no matter what he does, someone's going to bleed. So, what now? Where does Ammet go from here? Can he survive the storm? Can he face the truth, whatever it may be beyond? Come out the other side? Or is this the moment where the chi breaks him completely? Episode 10 promises answers, but it also promises consequences. And in this world, every choice leaves a scar. Maybe Ammet pulled the trigger. Maybe he didn't. But one thing's for sure, no one's walking away clean. This finale isn't about tying up loose ends. It's about cutting them deep, sudden, permanent. And when the dust settles, we may not recognize who's left standing.